guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and shout out Devin Brown. So this past Sunday, as we all know, was the 50-year anniversary of the March on Selma, and Barack Obama was down there, and so were a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, to commemorate everything that went down on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. So while the nation was focusing on Selma, Alabama, in Oklahoma, this racist fraternity called SAE, they were doing chants about black people, and this video went viral, and by Monday morning, everybody was talking about this video. It's about a 10-second video. These frat members and their dates, they were all on a bus, and they're basically singing about how they'll never let a nigger get into SAE Fraternity. So once this went viral, folks were really upset. The school was swift in their justice. They closed down the entire fraternity. They kicked everybody out the house. They told the students they had 24 hours to vacate. Even the cook who had been cooking for the fraternity for the past 10 years, he lost his job, but they started up a GoFundMe for him. And I believe that the GoFundMe is already at like $50,000 or something like that. So the whole situation was just a mess. So one of the most vocal people in hip hop about this situation was Waka Flocka, because Waka Flocka said that he had performed for SAE. He had performed at the Oklahoma State University. He was really, really upset. He had sent out the following message on Instagram and Twitter. Check this out. You guys just saw Waka Flocka's message, and I thought it was pretty cool for him to, stand up on Instagram and, and state how he felt. But then, of course, CNN contacted Waka, and they wanted to interview him. I'm going to go ahead and play this interview real quick. Check this out. I'm going to come back with the rest of my
initial reaction when I seen the video was, I was more like hurt, more like disgusted, because I knew those kids. I performed for those kids. They made me feel like a brother. Like, just to see what a person do behind closed doors is like more disgusting than like hurting it. I wasn't angry, I was just disgusted.
Disgusted and maybe surprised too. We have some video of the performance that you did for SAE at the University of Oklahoma last year. It looks like it was a large concert in the woods. It's a great video. This looks like sort of the typical college experience, partying, drinking with people there. I know that you were able to hang out with some of these guys. Did you experience any racism, any animosity that day?
Not at all. I felt like I was part of the frat. Like, I really felt like a frat boy when I was in the woods. Like, I really felt like I was down with the fraternity. Like, I was SE. I was SAE. Like, you couldn't tell me no different. So me to see that video, I was like, damn, that's what y'all doing behind closed doors? I was like, that disgusted me. Like, to me, I really can't blame the kids. To me, I feel like that's like passed down. You can't even make me believe that, like, that's just crazy. Like, I'm disgusted, I'm not gonna lie.
How do you reconcile that people who made you feel so welcomed behave like that, and not even, I mean, is it even behind closed doors? It's in front of a camera. This is with their friends. How do you square that with the fact that you had a great time with them and you wouldn't have expected they would do this?
I honest to God truth, words can't even explain it. Like, I'm still like here in shock. That's why I kept sending Instagram tweets. I just like, it's crazy for us to try to put something under the rug and it's still here today present. Like, to me, we just need to, we have to learn how to just cancel things like this out. And this is serious. This is a serious matter. At the end of the day, I'm just disgusted.
You're disgusted, and so far 2 people have been expelled here. What do you think should happen to everyone involved?
I think I feel like this is not a matter of anger. I feel like those kids should be disciplined for what they did. And everything has an effect, and because they did that video, now they're being expelled. They jeopardize their future, they jeopardize their careers, and I feel like everybody should be accountable.
All right, so you guys just saw everything that Waka Flocka had to say. So a lot of folks were torn by this. A lot of folks are saying, you know what, how can you be so upset and so disgusted by this, but you're the same person who made the song "Oh Let's Do It," which is drug dealer music. You're the same person who bigs up white girls and says that white girls are in, trying to insinuate that black women are not in. And why would you even think that these fraternity people look at you as a brother? You're just a, entertainer, and you also say the N-word consistently. So go ahead and check out these comments. A lot of people really, really mixed about Waka Flocka's interview. A lot of folks have said that he should not be the voice to even talk about this situation. So check out these comments. I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary. the tweets. And I do see where people are coming from. You say, you go around and you disrespect, black women, and you say things in your song, but now you're so disgusted by this 10-second song. So I can see what people are saying, that it's kind of hypocrisy. To me, at least he is standing up against something. But why he would think that these folks would look at him any differently once he leaves, to me, is beyond me. It is what it is. At the end of the day, this situation bothers me. Not so much the song. I guess for me, because I've been doing YouTube for the past few years, and I've been called everything but a child of God on this, God-forsaken website, especially racial slurs. I hear it all the time. So I guess I'm just kind of numb to the racial slurs now. So even listening to that song, I really didn't give two shits. I don't know any black people who are, clawing their way, trying to get into this particular fraternity. The thing that bothers me that nobody's talking about is not so much the 10-second song, which I know is not made up on the spot like they're trying to say. These people knew the words to the song, including the girls. This is a song that has been sung many times. This was not just some secret song that they just decided to just come up with at the spur of the moment. They knew the words to this song. And then there was also a video that came out last year with, I think, the den mother who's in charge of the dorm. She was singing Trinidad James's song, and she's saying, nigga, 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 nigga. Nigga, 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 nigga. The whole situation is a mess. But with that aside, okay, what bothers me the most is that these young men, these guys are bright. You have to be somewhat smart to get into, a particular university. These are not dumb people. Even though they made a dumb mistake and they did something dumb on camera, these guys are pretty bright guys. That's why they're at this university. So what people need to realize is that these guys here are your future politicians. They're your future lawmakers. They're your future police. You know what I'm saying? They're your future chief of police. They're your future, school administrators, so on and so on. These are the folks who in 10, 15 years will be making laws and everything else. So instead of being so worried about this song, realize that the ones who are not singing this song are the ones that you still need to worry about. They just happen to get caught. So what's going to happen now is that they're just going to be even more slick with their racism. They're going to be even more low-key with it, but they're still going to harbor those same feelings, those same animosities towards black people and towards people of color. If you think that banning them off of this university and kicking them out of this fraternity is going to somehow change racism or somehow get them to look at black people as equals, you're very much mistaken. So that's the thing that bothers me the most, is that these are going to be our future politicians and lawmakers and everything else. I could give a damn less about the song personally, because like I said, it's not nothing that I haven't heard before, and I'd rather, me personally, like I've always said, I'd rather for somebody to be racist in my face so I know how to deal with you, so I know who you are, so I can say, you know what, dude's racist, I know to stay the hell away from his racist ass. And then somebody smile in my face, be fake, but then really deep down inside hate black people or hate me based on the color of my skin, but never get to know me as a true individual. So, just because you kick these guys off of campus and just because you kick them out of this particular university means nothing. At the end of the day, people will find their way back into another school, just be better at hiding their racism, and then they'll just come back to basically spew the revenge 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation that went down at SAE, about everything that went down. How do you feel about their chant? And then how do you feel about Waka Flocka being disgusted by the whole situation? Agree with everything Waka Flocka said, or do you feel like he has no room to talk because of his music and his lyrics and things like that? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Let me know your thoughts on this entire SAE controversy that took place in Oklahoma. All right, deuces.